Hello, I'm Liz, one of Derry's reference librarians, and welcome to another episode of Misinformation Busters. Once a week, we tackle a rumor or a false or misunderstood story, and we try to separate fact from fiction. This week, we are asking, should you fill a trash bag with gas? No. We're talking about the Colonial Pipeline. So, what's the story? This might be my shortest summary yet. Friday, May 7th, the Colonial Pipeline, which runs from Houston, Texas to New Jersey and supplies around 45% of the East Coast fuel, ceased operations after a ransomware attack. A few days later, panic buying of gas started in the Southeast, and now we have memes of people supposedly putting gasoline in trash bags. So, what are the facts? Well, good news, everyone. As of May 12th, the pipeline is back on. Said it took a few days to get back to normal, but it looks like we are not going to be having the 70s era gas shortage lines. And we probably wouldn't even if the pipeline was offline a little longer. There was a lot of misunderstanding about this, some of it based on poor headlines, some based on people not reading the article. People heard ransomware attack on gas pipeline and jumped to some pretty extreme conclusions. So what I want to do is look at the misconceptions and then the reality. First, the ransomware attack. The attack itself did not take out the pipeline. The Colonial Pipeline Company released a statement saying they learned they were a victim of a ransomware attack and that they, quote, took certain systems offline to contain the threat. So, hackers didn't shut the pipeline down. Attacks on direct operational software are pretty rare. The hackers took data hostage, mainly business data, and demanded money or else it would be leaked to the internet. Colonial shut down the pipeline to, quote, ensure that ransomware could not transfer from the business systems to those that control and operate the pipeline. And who did this? At first, it was suspected that it was another country, like Russia or China, that was behind this. Turns out it's an independent group called DarkSide, and they're based in Russia, but according to them, they are apolitical. Our goal is to make money, not creating problems for society. All right, I'm not sure what you thought targeting a gas pipeline would lead to, but okay. The other big misconception was that we were running out of gas, which led to the panic buying. And that fear is understandable. After all, as I said at the top, this supplies the East Coast with 45% of its fuel. But we had the fuel, and the issue was transportation. The minute this happened, workarounds were being discussed. To quote an AP article, quote, multiple U.S. agencies coordinated to relax rules and enable fuel to be shipped faster using trucks, trains, or ships. But unfortunately, many states, particularly in the Southeast, still felt the squeeze. 11 states and Washington, D.C. reported outages and gas stations being out of gas. So, not saying there wasn't a problem, but do you know what made this problem worse? Panic buying. Panic buying and hoarding creates more scarcity and drives up the price more than a supply chain disruption could. It's actually similar to the toilet paper shortage back in 2020. And speaking of panic buying, despite the memes, it looked like people were not filling up plastic bags with gas. Snopes looked into the images. The picture of the plastic bags full of gas that are in the back of a car, that is from a robbery attempt from Mexico in 2019. And the video of a woman filling a plastic bag with gas, it's real, but it appears to be from Texas and also from 2019. Don't get me wrong, the U.S. Consumer Protection Safety Commission's warning of do not fill plastic bags with gasoline, it is still an apt warning. But it was inspired by misidentified images and video circulating on the internet. And once again, this goes back to digital and media literacy. This is why it's a good idea to read the article beyond the headline, double check before you share, not rely on social media frenzy. There were plenty of people down in the Southeast who had legitimate reasons to fill up their cars, people who drive or do local deliveries for a living. But the people who filled up their gas cans, I wonder how much they actually knew about the situation before going to the gas station with multiple containers. Thank you for watching, and as always, check for sources in the comments, and feel free to research using our EBSCO databases available through the library's website, or when in doubt, ask a librarian. I'll see you next week.